After watching this, your entire understanding of modern relationships might shift. Not because men have changed, not because women have changed, but because the rules of relationships have changed. Quietly, gradually, and dramatically. There is a reason so many men today feel stuck, frustrated, or simply tired. There is a reason so many men are choosing to step back, protect their peace, and walk away from relationships that feel more draining than fulfilling. This video isn't about blaming women. It's not about attacking anybody. It's about clarity. The clarity men have been denied for years. The clarity that allows us to finally name what we've been feeling but couldn't quite express. So let's break it down, honestly and openly. Most men grew up with a basic blueprint for relationships. Work hard, be a good man, be loyal, provide, protect, lead with integrity. Do that, and you'll get love, partnership, and appreciation. That was the promise. That was the understanding passed down from fathers, grandfathers, uncles, and older brothers. It was simple. It was clear. It made sense. But somewhere along the line, the blueprint changed, and nobody updated the manual. Nobody sent out a memo. Nobody gathered men together and said, hey, the game has different rules now. Men are still operating on old rules in a system that rewards completely different behaviors. Today, relationships are less about partnership and more about negotiation. Less about complementing each other and more about competing. Less about building something together and more about protecting what's mine versus what's yours. And men can feel this shift, even if they can't fully articulate it. It sits in their chest during arguments. It creeps into their thoughts late at night. It shows up in the exhaustion they feel after conversations that should bring them closer, but somehow push them further apart. This is why so many of you watching feel like something is off, like you're playing a game where the rules keep changing mid-play. Like you're speaking a language that used to make sense, but now gets misinterpreted at every turn. Because something is off, and pretending it isn't doesn't help anyone.
So let me be clear about something right now, something that needs to be said before we go any further. Men aren't walking away because they hate women. That's the narrative society wants to push, but it's not the truth. Men are walking away because they hate chaos. Men want peace. Men want stability. Men want mutual effort and mutual respect. These aren't complicated desires. They're basic human needs that become essential when you're expected to lead, provide, and show up consistently. But what many men are experiencing instead is unpredictability, emotional inconsistency, and a constant feeling of being evaluated, measured, and judged. Too many men feel like they're auditioning for a role that keeps changing. One week she wants a traditional man. The next week she wants everything split 50-50. One moment she wants leadership. The next moment, leadership is controlling. One day emotional availability is attractive. The next day, showing emotion is weakness. Now, it's not that women are doing this intentionally. Society has created a confusing environment for everyone. Men and women are being fed conflicting messages from every direction. Social media says one thing, friends say another, family says something else, and men are caught in the crossfire between past expectations and modern rules. When the rules keep moving, when the expectations keep shifting, when the goalposts keep changing, the only winning move is stepping back. Not out of anger, not out of hatred, but out of self-preservation. And that brings me to something deeper, something that's been quietly building for years. The emotional burden on modern men has never been higher. Nobody talks about this. Nobody acknowledges it, but it's real, and it's taking a toll. Men are expected to be strong but soft, confident but flexible, protective but non-controlling, emotionally available but never emotional, leaders but not too dominant, providers but not traditional, ambitious but present, independent but connected. It's a psychological tightrope with no safety net. And whether men admit it or not, there's a cost. I worked with a man recently, successful, stable, grounded. He told me, I'm not afraid of commitment. I'm afraid of losing myself. That sentence has stayed with me, because that's what many men feel today. Not fear of women, but fear of disappearing into a dynamic that takes more than it gives.
Think about it. When was the last time someone asked a man, how are you really doing? Not, how's work? Not, how's the relationship? But, how are you? When was the last time a man felt permission to say, I'm exhausted, I'm overwhelmed, I need support too? Men aren't fragile, men aren't weak, men aren't scared.
Men are simply tired of investing in relationships where appreciation is negotiable, but their effort is mandatory. Where their presence is expected, but their feelings are inconvenient. Where their sacrifices are invisible, but their mistakes are magnified. The emotional tax of constantly performing, constantly adjusting, constantly proving your worth drains something essential in a man. And once that well runs dry, it's incredibly difficult to refill. This exhaustion connects directly to another issue, one that men bring up with me constantly. One of the most common things men tell me is this: I don't mind doing my part. I just don't want to feel like I'm doing everything. And I hear this all the time, in different words, in different contexts, but the message is always the same. Effort used to be mutual. Both partners contributed in different ways. The contributions might have looked different, but they were valued equally. There was balance, there was reciprocity, there was acknowledgement that both people were building something together. Today, men often feel like they're expected to contribute financially, emotionally, mentally, physically, while the standard for what women must bring is vague, undefined, or inconsistent. Not because women don't want to contribute, many do, but because modern culture confuses contribution with oppression. If a man works 50 hours a week, nobody questions it. It's expected. It's what men do. But if a woman contributes something traditional, cooking, homemaking, creating a peaceful environment, she risks being called outdated or suppressed. She risks being told she's betraying her gender. So now both people are waiting for the other to give more, while nobody defines what more even means. Nobody talks about what actual partnership looks like in 2025. Nobody maps out a vision that honors both people's contributions without diminishing either. The result? A relationship where resentment grows quietly, where appreciation dries up, and where men begin to ask, what exactly am I fighting for here? What am I building toward? Is this partnership, or am I just a resource? And once that question enters a man's mind, it's hard to silence, which leads to another massive misunderstanding about what men actually want. One of the biggest misunderstandings about men today is the idea that men want silent, submissive, traditional wives. No, that's not it at all. Men want a partner who adds peace, not chaos. A partner who gives effort, not excuses. A partner who shows appreciation, not entitlement. Men don't want perfection. Men don't want a maid. Men don't want a mother. Men want reciprocity. If he gives, she gives. If he supports, she supports. If he sacrifices, she sacrifices. If he shows up, she shows up. Partnership, not parasitism. Teamwork, not tension. Mutual investment, not one-sided exhaustion. The moment men feel like they're carrying the entire relationship on their shoulders, something inside them shuts down. Slowly, quietly, permanently. It's not dramatic. It's not loud. It's a gradual withdrawal that happens in small moments, in the silence after an argument, in the hesitation before making plans, in the emotional distance that starts to feel safer than emotional connection. And here's what's heartbreaking. By the time a woman notices that distance, the man has often been gone for months. Not physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. He checked out long before he packed a bag. And you know what's at the core of this disconnection? Something most people completely overlook. Here's something brutally honest. Men can survive without love, but men cannot survive without respect. When a man feels disrespected, even subtly, his soul disconnects, because respect is how men experience love. Respect is the language that speaks directly to a man's core. Respect means I see your effort. I appreciate what you do. I value the weight you carry. I notice your consistency. I recognize the sacrifices you don't talk about. Most men don't need gifts. They don't need poems. They don't need dramatic displays of affection. They just need acknowledgement. They need to be seen. They need to know their effort matters. But modern relationships often treat male effort as baseline, expected, unremarkable. He fixes things? Expected. He works overtime? Expected. He protects you? Expected. He provides stability? Expected. He stays calm during crisis? Expected. He solves problems? Expected. But the moment he asks for something in return, attention, intimacy, peace, accountability, suddenly it becomes a debate. Suddenly he's asking for too much. Suddenly he's being needy or controlling or insecure.
This one-sided emotional economy is why men quietly withdraw, long before they physically walk away. The disrespect doesn't have to be loud or obvious. It lives in the eye rolls, the dismissive comments, the way his concerns are minimized, the way his feelings are treated as less valid than hers, the way his needs are framed as demands while her needs are framed as rights. A man can take a lot, but he cannot function in an environment where his value is constantly questioned and his contribution is never enough. Now, before anyone says this is just men complaining about women, let me be clear about something important. Women are struggling too, in different ways, and I think it's important to acknowledge this. Women are being told, be independent, but find a man. Be strong, but be soft. Don't lower standards, but don't be too picky. Be a boss, but also be nurturing. Earn your own money, but still expect him to pay. Demand equality, but still want traditional romance. Women are overwhelmed by expectations the same way men are. Nobody is teaching either gender how to navigate this new world, and that's why relationships feel harder now. We destroyed traditional roles without replacing them with anything functional. We tore down the old framework, but never built a new one. We said, that old way is wrong, without ever defining what the right way is. Men don't know how to be men. Women don't know how to be women. And everybody is guessing. Everybody is improvising. Everybody is hoping they're getting it right, while secretly terrified they're getting it wrong. Modern relationships aren't failing because men and women changed, but because the framework that supported them collapsed. And instead of rebuilding together, we're pointing fingers. Instead of creating new models, we're destroying old ones. Instead of finding solutions, we're assigning blame. And this is exactly why so many men are making a different choice entirely. Men aren't walking away from women. Men are walking away from instability. And there's a crucial difference there that people keep missing. When a man feels like he's constantly being tested, he's rarely appreciated, he's frequently blamed, he's expected to perform emotionally, financially, socially, psychologically, and he's never enough unless he's everything, then walking away isn't quitting. It's self-preservation.
Men are choosing peace over pressure, respect over resentment, solitude over suffocation, stability over emotional chaos, self-worth over constant criticism. This isn't weakness. This is survival. This is a man finally saying, my mental health matters, my peace matters, my life matters. And society wants to shame men for this. Society wants to call them commitment phobic, emotionally unavailable, immature, scared of real women. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is men are finally applying the same standards to relationships that they apply to everything else in their lives. If something consistently drains you, if something consistently causes chaos, if something consistently demands more than it gives, you evaluate whether it's worth continuing. Men aren't afraid of hard work. Men aren't afraid of sacrifice. Men aren't afraid of commitment. Men are afraid of pouring themselves into something that will never acknowledge what they've poured. They're afraid of giving everything and being told it's not enough. They're afraid of building with someone who's already planning their exit. So if you're a man listening to this, I want to give you something practical. You can't control modern culture. You can't control dating trends. You can't control society's expectations. But you can control your standards. And it's time more men understood what those standards should look like. Never apologize for wanting reciprocity. Effort deserves effort. Investment deserves investment. If you're building, she should be building. If you're growing, she should be growing. If you're sacrificing, she should be sacrificing. Never stay where your peace is consistently disturbed. Your mind is not a battleground. Your home is not a war zone. Your relationship should be your refuge, not your biggest source of stress. Never carry 100% of a relationship. You aren't built to be the entire foundation. You're meant to be a pillar, not the whole structure. If she's not holding up her side, the whole thing will eventually collapse and you'll be blamed for the fall. Never ignore early signs of entitlement or disrespect. Detachment starts with disrespect. Resentment starts with entitlement. If she doesn't value you early on, more effort from you won't change that. It will only teach her that disrespect is acceptable. Never negotiate your self-worth. If she doesn't value you, she shouldn't have access to you. Your presence is a privilege, not a right. Your time is valuable. Your energy is limited. Give them to people who recognize their worth. Never chase someone who drains you. Love should lift. Partnership should energize. The right relationship makes life easier, not harder. If being with her feels like carrying weight uphill, you're with the wrong person. Never let loneliness push you into dysfunction. Silence is better than chaos. Being alone is better than being with someone who makes you feel alone. Peace by yourself is better than war with someone else. These rules aren't anti-woman. They're pro-man, pro-peace, pro-sanity. And any woman who truly values partnership will respect them. Because at the end of the day, what men want isn't complicated. Men want something very simple. A woman who is on his team. A woman who values his presence. A woman who matches his energy. A woman who contributes to the relationship instead of complicating it. A woman who respects his efforts. Not a perfect woman. Not a 1950s housewife. Not a social media fantasy. Just a real partner. A woman who says, I'm with you. Let's build something together. Let's make life easier, not harder. Let's make each other better. Let's face the world as a unit, not as opponents. Partnership is the masculine love language. Men don't dream about grand romantic gestures. They dream about coming home to peace. They dream about having someone who genuinely has their back. They dream about building something meaningful with someone who's equally invested. That's it. That's what men want. And it's not too much to ask. But here's what's really happening beneath all of this. The shift that changes everything. The biggest reason men are walking away isn't disappointment with women. It's clarity about themselves. Men are realizing, I'm valuable. My peace matters. My effort matters. My time matters. My mental health matters. My standards matter. I don't have to accept whatever is offered. I don't have to settle for dysfunction. I don't have to prove my worth to someone who refuses to see it. Men aren't abandoning commitment. They're abandoning unbalanced commitment. They're done carrying relationships that feel like full-time jobs with no benefits, no appreciation, and no stability. Men are waking up. Men are choosing carefully. Men are thinking long-term. And that shift is powerful. For decades, men were told to just be grateful for attention. Just be happy someone chose you. Just work harder if she's unhappy. Just do more if things aren't working. Just accept that relationships are hard and you need to push through. But men are finally asking, hard for who? And why is it always on me to fix it? And that question is creating a massive shift in the dating landscape. The dating market is becoming more polarized. Good women and good men will always find each other. But unchecked entitlement and extreme independence will continue to produce broken relationships. Men who choose peace aren't ruining dating. They're forcing a reset. They're saying, match my effort or lose my presence. Respect me or release me. Contribute or I'll continue alone. This isn't bitterness. This is evolution. Men finally understand that walking away is sometimes the smartest, strongest, most self-respecting move they can make. And honestly, women will benefit from this too, because as men raise their standards, women will have to decide what they truly want. The women who want genuine partnership will rise to meet good men. The women who want convenience will find themselves alone. And that's fair. That's accountability. That's how healthy dynamics are created. So let me leave you with this. You're not crazy. You're not weak. You're not the problem. You're observing a real shift in modern relationships, one that requires awareness, boundaries, and selective standards. Do not let society shame you for protecting your peace. Do not let anyone guilt you for wanting reciprocity. Do not let loneliness push you back into chaos. Do not forget your value. You are worth respect. You are worth appreciation. You are worth partnership. You are worth peace. You're worth a woman who sees you, values you, and chooses you every single day. And if the world won't tell you that, I will. I want to hear from you. Why do you think men are walking away today? What changed for you? What behaviors became deal breakers? Drop your experiences in the comments, not to complain, but to finally speak the truth. Because pretending everything is fine hasn't helped men. Honesty will. Let's build a community where men can speak openly, where women can learn genuinely,
and where real conversations about relationships can finally happen without judgment. Hit that subscribe button if this resonated with you, because we're just getting started.